We are delighted to welcome our esteemed chief guest for the evening, Miss Abha Adams. She has created an enviable reputation as an innovative educationist, a prolific writer on education, and an accomplished orator. She has spent over 35 years in education, media, BBC North, Arts Management, Arts Council of England, both in India and the UK. An alumni of Lady Shri Ram College, she taught undergraduate and postgraduate students at her alma mater and completed a second master's in theatre arts at the University of Leeds, UK. As former director of the Shri Ram Schools and advisor education to Step by Step School Noida, she has been instrumental in founding and developing two major educational institutions in the country. She conceptualized and led the Center for Learning and Teaching, which focused on teacher capacity building, mentoring, and coaching. Presently, she is a leading educational consultant advising several national and international educational training and development organizations. She serves on several boards, is vice chair of the Ahwan Trust, working closely with curriculum development and the professional development of teachers in government schools. Most welcome, ma'am. We are really honored to have you with us. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank
Now,
you.
yes,
Thank you
ma'am.
so much. Thank you, Aarti, and everybody here at the foundation for this very kind invitation. I'm delighted and, in fact, privileged to be a part of this special felicitation ceremony um, for young people who have worked hard, developed some very critical skills that they are going to need and use for the rest of their lives. But they have also emerged with solutions, as I see them, for the future by working with some very skilled mentors. If I may just address the students for a little while, I just want to say कि आपका जो भविष्य है, it is extremely uncertain and it is ever changing. And as you step out, you will realize that this last year particularly has brought home to us in so many ways that the future is going to continue to change. And we have had to change so much. We have had to change, as Meeta ji said, Major Meeta, that the way we think, the way we work, the way we live, and the way we learn. Embracing uncertainty has a fear, डर लगता है. What does the future hold? और जब मैं students के साथ बात करती हूँ, what I hear from them is that their fears are about not being able to trust other people. एक तो पहली बात. दूसरी, unsure कि मुझे college में जगह मिलेगी. तीसरी, will there be a job waiting for me at the end of the line? And particularly when we are in a world where jobs and careers, जिनके साथ हम familiar हैं, are shrinking. Just to give you some statistics, a few years ago, the World Bank estimated that by 2033, and it's not so far away, artificial intelligence and automation will put 47% of jobs at risk in the US. Closer home in China, 77% jobs will go, and in India, 69%. But ye pandemic is pehle tha. Now the impact after the pandemic, that will be much, much more. So students feel we are not skilled for our future. We are not good enough. Many students have had issues with body image and how they look, and they have felt the pressure of social media to always look as beautiful and as happy as everybody else you see on Instagram and Snapchat. And they deem themselves therefore as failure. Mental health की बात हो रही है, and the prevalence of psychiatric cases is 12.5% for children between ages of 1 to 16. The suicide death rates in India, as we know, are amongst the highest in the world, and 80% of our young children सर्वे जो हुआ था, उन्होंने कहा था that the stress that we feel during exams has completely ruined our mental health. We know for a fact in schools that rates of depression, anxiety, and self-harm, especially in teenagers, is rising. We are also seeing an increase in learning disabilities, communication and behavioral disorders. More and more students are being identified and diagnosed on the autistic spectrum and with attention deficit disorders. We know now how important inclusive education is. So how did earlier generations cope with any kind of uncertainty and fear? My parents and grandparents, they lived through 2 world wars, and they saw the wound, the deep wounds of partition. Lahore se aaye the as refugees, they built their lives. And I saw growing up and hearing these stories of loss and trauma that they had the resilience, you know, the guts to get up and get going to move forward. They had families to raise, and I never heard anybody talking about therapy as a solution. And the reason why they had that resilience is because they experienced what we, in many ways, as privileged people in India, have not experienced, and that is deprivation. I remember a very funny story. I was in the UK in the mid-80s when I had my son, and mummy, Indian family hai, to माँ आई थी 1 साल के लिए मुझे help करने के लिए, and when my friends would come visit, or English friends, since my husband is English, my mother was amazed. एक शाम को उन्होंने एक बार मुझसे पूछा कि आभा, ये जो बातचीत करते हैं, I can't cope, I am depressed. क्या can't cope? भगवान ने जिंदगी दी, उसको जीना है, तो जियो. What is this obsession with yourself? So my generation is the first generation born in post-independent. And growing up, I remember the economy was in a very bad shape. There wasn't enough to feed the country. And then in the 90s, suddenly everything opened up. India opened up and we had rampant consumerism. You could buy anything you wanted. In 1992, I remember the electronic media came in, external media. Uske baad, 2006, when smartphones were introduced, social media platforms came. And after that, I think we stopped and we allowed external forces like social media to do our thinking for us. The mental health situation amongst young and old, particularly during the pandemic, has been extraordinarily high. Agar aap were looking for help at the moment, you go looking for a therapist, aapko 3 mahine ki waiting time deti hai aajkal. Is this any solution? Any kind of situation to be? So what is the solution? The future is uncertain, it is stressful, and for our young people, they're going to need what I like to call a toolkit. And this toolkit includes skills such as adaptability, the ability to unlearn and relearn, and most important, resilience. So how do you teach these? Schools have not taught. Schools are teaching to the text, and schools have lost that vision of being child-centered and for teaching to be child-centered. And that is where what the work that Anon and YWCA are doing is so very, very, very important. What are the skills that will be required for the future? Children need to be rooted in values and scars. They need to believe in themselves. There needs to be independent thinking. There needs to be teamwork, care for others, and compassion. Knowledge alone will not give us. We have to learn these through art, music, dance, theatre, internships, like what you are doing. So, in the future, what kind of jobs will there be? I mean, thoda sa Google. And the things that I found, I'm not going to give you details, but मैं चाहूंगी कि if you're listening to this, then please go into the research yourself. It's quite amazing. The jobs in the future are going to revolve around AI.
Yeah, ma'am. So connecting to this, ma'am, I would also like to ask one question, if you permit, please.
Of course.
Yeah, ma'am. So what do you feel should be the changes in the existing education system for a futuristic approach?
I think the most important thing there, Deepa, is if we can focus on developing skills. We have only focused on knowledge, factual information that we test by the child's memory. And neither, we have not given this much thought. Whereas the world over, it is these critical 21st century skills, which is what they're termed, which is what you are doing outside of school, both in the socio-emotional learning, what is called SEL, or socio-emotional ethical learning, which is holiness that the Dalai Lama calls SEAL, which you are providing, but schools are not providing. And I think until that big shift happens, we are not going to see any progress on that.
Yes, ma'am. Sure, that
Yeah.
will surely help us turn stronger. Okay. So, ma'am, one more I would like to really love to ask you that do you think research and analysis should be an integral part of our curriculum, which we included in our internship also? The main focus was research and analyzing in different topics and situations. So, do you think that it should be an integral part of our curriculum?
Research and analysis is a process. And for analysis, you need critical thinking. You need to understand, you need to have the tools to think. And what makes us think? When we question. अगर हम अपने बच्चों को प्रश्न पूछने के लिए जगह नहीं देते in our classes on topics, then we are not going to be able to get thinking children. I know that I only learned to think when I did a second master overseas. That's when I learned how to think for myself. And I couldn't understand what they wanted from me because it wasn't in a book. They wanted me to think about it. So I think that research and analysis as part of the pedagogy is absolutely critical. But then you need to shift the curriculum and the learning outcomes. You know, what Alvin Toffler said, the man who wrote Future Shock, and he said that the illiterate of the 21st century are not going to be those who cannot read and write. They're going to be those who cannot unlearn and relearn. And that adaptability, that change, that ability to be able to collaborate. Apne schools may we place focus on competition or what are your marks like? See, or marks nobody works in teams, and industry needs collaboration. The world of work needs collaboration, you know? And that is why when I see the topics that the children have done, I just think that gave me so much hope. I've just made a quick note of those topics, saying, you know, try again, fall forward, resilience ke baat ho. Online gaming, killing the playground. It's so important to have play and to move away from this digital trap that we have all fallen. So I think I'll wrap up now because my time. The toolkit is right here with Anon, and I hope that it equips all the children to step forward into a future that they embrace with courage and sound values and critical thinking skills. And my blessings and best wishes are with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us today. Ma'am, we are really honored to have you with us.
The honor is mine.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you.